o'clock in the morning, and the train was terribly late. We should have arrived at Hudson Siding by midnight, and I was getting a little worried. But just then...
Hudson Siding! Hudson Siding! Next stop, Hudson Siding! That's you, Dorothy.
Oh, yes, thank you. Oh, I hope Zeb's waited for me.
Forward! Forward!
It was nice of you to wait for me, Cousin Zeb.
Oh, that's all right. Sure was waiting a long time, though. Thought the train would never come.
Oh, it was the earthquakes. They slowed us up and made us late.
Ah, those really weren't earthquakes. Just little shakes. We have lots of those here in California. We don't mind them. What do you got in the bird cage? Canaries?
No, it's just my cat. I thought that would be the best way to carry her.
Cat in a bird cage? Don't think she'll like that much.
Oh, Eureka doesn't mind. Do you, Eureka? Meow. I call her Eureka because I found her. And Uncle Henry says that's what Eureka means. What's that?
Oh, just another little shake.
Gosh, it sounds scary. Your horse doesn't seem to like it either.
Giddy up, Jim, giddy up. I call him Jim because, well, come to think of it, I don't know why I call him Jim.
But he's not going any faster.
Come on, Jim, giddy up. That's no little shake. Look out!
At that moment, the whole earth seemed to open up right in front of us. And the next thing I knew, we were falling. Horse, buggy, Eureka, Zeb, and me. I don't know how long we fell, but it wasn't too disagreeable because we were falling very slowly, just like Alice when she fell down the rabbit hole. But just then, the strangest thing happened.
I don't like this.
What was that?
Sounded like Jim. Ha, that's silly. Horses can't talk.
I couldn't talk before, but I can now, and I repeat, I don't like this.
Neither do I! Eureka! Can you talk too? Meow? What does it sound like, meowing? Never did like meowing. Sounds too much like a cat. But that's what you are.
Look out, we're coming to the bottom.
Well, would you look at that? We seemed to be in the middle of a big city. There were many tall buildings, and they were all made of glass. Just as we recovered our breath and started for the nearest one...
What was that?
It's up there! Look, a balloon!
Here it comes!
Out of the balloon stepped a man. And who do you think it was? Or is it whom? Oh, well, it doesn't matter. The important thing is...
Well, well, well. If it isn't little Dorothy Gale from Kansas.
The wizard! The Wizard of Oz!
Yes. For those of you who may not be acquainted with my art, let me explain I have a brain of many, many parts. The things I do, I offer you for entertainment's sake. So please don't mind if you should find that I'm a great big thing. I'm still the Wizard of Oz, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. I love a cheer, I love to hear the audience's rah-rahs.
He's still the Wizard of Oz, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
And this is how I take my bow. Thank you, and you, and you, and you. For your applause.
Well, just as the wizard finished his song, we heard another strange noise. What in the world is that?
It's the mangaboos.
The what?
The mangaboos. This is the land of the mangaboos.
How do you know?
Please, I'm the wizard. I know everything.
But what's the popping noise?
It's just the mangaboos popping up out of the ground. Oh, here comes one now.
Oh, how do you do?
Don't you how do you do me? How dare you disturb the peace and tranquility of my country?
Your country?
That's what I said. I am Prince of the Mangaboos, and I don't like people from the top of the earth who come down here and annoy us. You shall be executed at once. Guards?
Hey, Dorothy, we better get out of here.
Oh, dear, Wizard, do something.
In a jiffy, my dear. Ah, there it is. Just the very thing.
What are you doing?
Why, uncollapsing my collapsible sword, of
Oh,
course.
you'd better hurry, Wizard. The prince has called out his whole army.
I'm ready now. Prince Mangaboo, call off your army, or I shall be forced to cut you in half. And you know what that means.
Ha ha! Cut away! The order stands. Arrest them! Execute them!
All right. You forced me to do this.
Wizard, look! He's not human. The prince is a vegetable.
I know, and that's the trouble. They're all vegetables. You can't kill them. You can only keep cutting them up and making more of them all the time.
Arrest them! Execute them! Arrest them! Execute them!
See? Now there are two princes, and they'll quarrel over who's going to rule, and they'll cut each other in half, and then there'll be four, and the country will go to pot, because they've got too many leaders.
In the meantime, Wizard, don't you think we better get out of here? The two princes, whoops, the four and the tripled army are beginning to get too close.
Excellent idea, my boy. What's your horse's name?
Jim.
Good. Jim, it's up to you to say the day. Run as fast as you can straight for that mountain over there. It's our only chance.
Well, all right. But don't whip me. I don't like that whip.
Hurry, Jim. Here come the mangaboos. So we started out lickety-split, and in a few minutes we managed to outdistance the mangaboos. You see, their roots kept getting stuck in the ground, so they had to run by jumping, and that's what caused the popping noise. Well, finally we came to a large cave in the mountain. But just as we were about to go in...
Stop!
What was that?
It's that signpost.
That what?
That signpost over there.
You mean they have talking signposts here?
Why, of course.
Everything talks. I think I'll go back to meow. Shh, listen.
Warning! This is the land of the gargoyles. Danger! Keep out!
So, of course, we went right in. As a matter of fact, we had to. The mangaboos were starting to get close again. It was pitch black inside the cave, and everything echoed round and round. And then we saw our first gargoyle, or rather we heard it. Wizard, what's that?
It's a gargoyle clapping his wooden wings.
Wooden wings?
Yes, all the gargoyles are made of wood. We can't kill them either.
Oh, dear. Are they as dangerous as the mangaboos?
Worse, they fill you full of splinters.
Oh.
Quick, back into the end of the cave while I get my six-shooter.
What good's a gun against the gargoyles? What we need's an axe.
Oh, you're so right. But I just happened to have left my axe at home this morning. Oh, well, we'll have to do the best we can.
Look out! Here they come!
And here goes for a few battles.
We fought the wooden gargoyles all that day, but we could only succeed in driving them back with the noise of the gun. And once in a while, when they got too close, Jim would kick out with his heels and send them flying through the opening of the cave. We retreated higher and higher inside the mountain, with the gargoyles hot on our trail. And once I got a real good look at them. They were about 3 feet tall, with round bodies and thick, stumpy legs. Their arms were wooden clubs, and on their sides were large wooden wings attached with screws. Well, pretty soon night fell, as it always does, and the gargoyles evidently decided it was time to sleep, so we decided to do the same thing. But just as we were lying down and getting ready to doze off...
How do you do?
What?
I said, how do you do?
Did you say something, Wizard?
No.
You, Zeb?
No.
Jim, Eureka?
No.
Well, then who was it?
Me?
We all strained our eyes. And then we saw the oddest-looking little old man I'd ever seen in my life. His hair and beard were white, and so long that they reached clear to his feet. And both his hair and beard were twined into many braids. And the end of each braid was fastened together with a brightly colored ribbon. So naturally, when I asked him who he was, he said,
Why, the braided man, of course. Welcome to my factory.
Factory? You have a factory in this place?
Of course.
Well, what do you make here?
Practically everything. Poppers for pop, guns, flutters for flags, squeakers for hinges, assorted tags, wassels for dresses, creases for foals, but most of all, I make holes.
Holes?
That's right.
H-O-L-E-S.
Certainly. Small holes, big holes, round holes, deep holes, funny holes, bunny holes, holes for moles, new holes, old holes, dirt and sand holes, cheese holes, trees holes, holes for gold holes.
Oh, I'm glad you added that.
I can help you escape.
Can you? Wizard, did you hear that?
Yes, but I don't believe it.
Oh, we'd appreciate it very much if you would, Mr. Braided Man. We'd be glad to pay, of course.
Oh, I don't want money, but I'll help you in exchange for a blue hair ribbon.
Blue hair ribbon?
You'll notice that I have thousands of ribbons, all yellow, pink, green, red, white, and black. But now we're a blue ribbon. Could you give me one?
Of course. Here you are.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. One moment while I tie it on. There. Now, this is the way to escape. Just unscrew the wings from the gargoyles while they're asleep. Fasten them on yourselves and fly up to that other mountain.
That's a wonderful idea.
Sure, except for one thing.
What?
No screwdriver.
Now, just a moment. By a strange coincidence, here are 6 or 7 screwdrivers.
You see, the wizard has everything.
Hey, where does he get all that stuff from?
Why, from my bag of tricks, of course. Quick, here's the screwdriver. There's not a moment to lose.
We crept forward as quietly as possible, unscrewed the wings from 4 or 5 gargoyles, fastened them to ourselves, and as we flew away, we could hear the song of the braided man in the distance.
Small holes, big holes, round holes, deep holes, funny holes, bunny holes, holes for moles, new holes, old holes, dirt and sand holes, cheese holes, trees holes, holes for gold.
We flew out of the cave and passed the sign again. It drew itself up to its full height and exclaimed,
This was the land of the gargoyles. Hurry back!
Well, we flew and flew and flew. And I must say it was a funny sensation, not being used to having wings. We thought at first that we'd try to return to the spot where we'd fallen through from the top of the earth. But that was impossible. By now, the Mangaboos had joined with the gargoyles, who surprisingly enough had grown another set of wings. And both the vegetable people and the wooden gargoyles were right below us, just waiting for us to land. So we had no choice except to fly up to the next highest mountain and go into another cave. This one was even darker than the other one. In fact, it was so dark that even the wizard admitted he couldn't see his bag of tricks. There was only one of us who could see. So naturally, we all turned to Eureka!
Well, what is it?
You can see in the dark.
Of course I can see in the dark.
Well,
what?
well, tell us what you see.
Thought you'd get around to asking my help after a while. You've been neglecting me.
Oh, poor Eureka. I'm sorry. Here, I'll pet you.
Stop it. You're rubbing the wrong way.
Well, then tell us what you see.
All right, but you won't like it.
Oh, what is it? What do you see?
We're in a cave with some horrible creatures. I simply talk about your fellow dragons.
Dragons?
A matter of fact, Mother says we're the prettiest, loveliest children she's ever had. So I think you might apologize.
What for?
Well, I'm sure you're no prettier than we are. Mother says no other dragonettes could be any prettier.
But we're not dragonettes, we're humans.
Humans? You mean people?
That's right.
Oh, in that case, we shall have to eat you.
What?
Brothers, sisters, come here, look. Luscious, lovely little people. My. We haven't had any people in a long time.
Wizard, did you hear that?
Yes, I'm thinking.
Don't let them frighten you, Dorothy. They can't do a thing as long as we stay on this side of the cave. Their tails are tied together and they can't move. Huh, shucks, I shouldn't have said that. You wait till Mother returns. She'll untie our tails and let us eat you. She only tied them together so we couldn't get into mischief while she's out hunting for food. Now just think, when she gets back, we'll be able to tell her that we found our own food.
Well, that would be fine, but I don't think we'll stay until your mother gets back. Wizard?
I'm coming.
Zeb, Jim, Eureka? Oh dear, not a moment too soon. Well, listen, what's that?
We're doomed, Dorothy. The Mangaboos have joined the gargoyles and the Mother Dragon. Now they're all coming into the cave. Back! Oh, it's no use. We're trapped. Get in.
Wizard, what time is it?
Now, if that isn't the silliest question.
No, I'm serious. If it's anywhere near 4 o'clock, we can be saved. Every day at exactly 4 o'clock, Ozma looks at her magic picture. And if I'm in trouble, she'll save me.
Who's Ozma?
Ozma is the princess who rules over the land of Oz, Zeb, and a very good friend of mine.
I wonder if it's 4 o'clock.
When you hear the next musical note, it will be exactly 59 minutes and 50 seconds after 3 o'clock.
Lucky I brought my radio with me.
Then, Wizard, if there are 60 minutes in an hour and 60 seconds in a minute, we have only to wait...
I know. 10 seconds until Ozma looks at her magic picture and saves us.
The longest 10 seconds I ever spent in my life. 9, 8, 7, 6... Oh, hurry, Ozma, hurry! 4, 3, 2, 1, now! Well, that's funny. Nothing happened.
A fine time not to look at a picture.
No, listen. It's the magic picture music. It's Ozma. It's coming closer.
You missed us!
I was back in the land of Oz. And with me were the wizard, Cousin Zeb, Eureka, and Jim. Princess Ozma was true to her word. She looked at the magic picture at exactly 4 o'clock and wished us away with a whoosh straight into the land of Oz. All our old friends were there, the Scarecrow, the Cowardly Lion, the Tin Woodman, and we all laughed and sang and had a wonderful time.
We're all together again. We're all together again. You dream of us for the land of Oz, where everyone's a friend. We're all together again. We're all together again. We'll sing and play the time away while we're together again.
As Scarecrow in the fields of corn, I have a job that's grand, and I'd enjoy it very much if birds would understand that when I lift up my hand so high and wave at them like that, I'm not inviting them to come and set upon my hat.
We're all together again. We're all together again. We'll sing and play the time away while we're together again.
I'm still the Cowardly Lion, as cowardly as ever. I'm frightened of my shadow, and I never, never, never roar or stomp or bare my fangs or of the beast speaking, 'cause I don't want you all to say he's a nasty old thing.
We're all together again. We're all together again. We'll sing and play the time away while we're together again.
I'm still the woodsman made of tin. It really doesn't matter that when I walk or move about, there is an awful clatter. I still can cry and laugh and sigh because of one small part. Down deep inside this metal hide, there beats a rusty heart.
We're all together again. We're all together again. We'll sing and play the time away while we're together again.
Yes, everyone was having a wonderful time, except Jim the horse. He was over in a corner arguing with a sawhorse. Of course, you know what a sawhorse is. The kind of wooden horse you put boards on when you want to saw.
You cannot.
I can so.
Cannot.
Have.
Not.
Have.
Here now, what's all this?
Oh, it's this silly sawhorse. He claims he can run faster than I can.
And two.
Well, if I couldn't beat you with 2 legs tied behind me, I'll eat a bag of sawdust.
Well, you'll eat it then, believe me, because I can.
Now.
Dear, what seems to be the trouble here?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Princess Ozma, but I'm afraid our real horse and your sawhorse are having an argument about who can run the fastest.
Really? Well, that's easily settled. They shall have a race. On your mark. Ready? Go!
They're off and running. At the start, it's Jim the real horse by a length. Sawhorse stumbled. Going into the clubhouse turn, it's Jim the real horse by 4 lengths. Sawhorse is trailing. Down the back stretch is Jim the real horse by 5 lengths. 6 lengths. 7 lengths. It's a runaway. Around the turn and into the stretch, it's Jim the real horse by 7. Wait a minute. What's this? Jim's tiring. He's out of breath. He's slowing down. It's the sawhorse coming on now. It's 5 lengths behind. It's 4, 3, 2, 1. And now, it's Jim and Sawhorse. Neck and neck. Head and head. Tooth and tooth. And as they pass the finish line, it's the Sawhorse by a splinter.
The sound you hear is Jim eating a bag of sawdust. He was sorry to lose the race, of course, but he was only human. I mean, he was only a real horse, so he got tired. And the sawhorse, who could run forever, beat him at the finish. The next weeks were filled with excitement and fun. Matter of fact, everyone had too much fun. Princess Ozma was so wonderful to us. She gave everyone anything he wanted. Eureka drank too much rich cream and got sick. Jim stuffed himself with oats until he had a stomachache. And as for me, well, I've never eaten so much ice cream and cake in my life. One day, I went to visit Princess Ozma in her room. Your Highness?
Yes, Dorothy.
I wonder if I might look at the magic picture. It's 4 o'clock.
Why, of course. What would you like to see?
Well, I'd like to see Uncle Henry and Aunt Em.
There you are.
Oh, they look so sad. And they're all dressed in black.
Yes, my dear. I'm afraid they think you and Zeb were killed in the earthquake.
Oh, dear, then we must go home immediately.
Yes, I'm afraid you must. I was going to suggest it, but you seem to be having such a good time. And I wasn't sure how your friends would feel about it.
Well, I'll call them in and see. Zeb! Eureka! Jim! Wizard! Come here, please.
Yes, Dorothy.
I've just seen our family at home and, well, they think we're dead. Would you mind very much if we went home?
Funny thing, Dorothy. We were just going to ask you the same thing.
Yes, I'm tired of cream. Besides, I have no one to play with.
I'd rather pull a buggy at home than be a racehorse.
Oh, that's wonderful. Then we can go, can't we?
Right away. The magic spell of the magic picture will last until 5 minutes after 4. I can wish you back home in no time.
Now, just a minute.
Yes, Wizard.
I don't want to go home. Why, at home I'm just a circus performer, a faker, a charlatan. But here in Oz, I'm a real wizard. I want to stay.
And stay you shall. I hereby appoint you my own personal wizard.
Oh, thank you, Princess.
Now let's all have a song. And while you're singing, I'll say the magic words. And before you know it, you'll be home.
We're together again. When we're together again, we'll give rah-rahs for the land of Oz. When we're together again. When we're together again. When we're together again, we'll sing and play the time away. When we're together again.
When we're together again, when we're together again. Sing it, Jim. We'll sing and play the time away. Why, Zeb, look where we are.
Yeah, just a few yards from a farm. See? Over there.
Gee, what an adventure. Gosh, it's hard to believe we really visited all those strange places. The land of the mangaboos and the gargoyles.
And the dragonette.
And Oz. Did you enjoy it too, Eureka? Eureka? Meow. Oh, she can't talk anymore. How about you, Jim? Oh, well, it's good to be home. I wonder if we'll ever go again. I'd like to. Wouldn't you?